This is eNCA now. In just a moment, a quick hit with some of our reporters who are tracking developments in KwaZulu-Natal as the ANC marks its 107th anniversary. But before we get there, two trains collided in Pretoria earlier today, leaving at least 4 people dead. eNCA's Lindokuhle Xulu is at the scene of the crash and joins us now live. So Lindokuhle, at this particular point, I suppose it's a matter of assessment and trying to piece together the events that led to this train collision.
In fact, Tulas, it's not even the assessment yet. That is still pending. They're waiting for the pathology team to just take the bodies that have passed on, the casualties that have been suffered here. We understand that about 3 people have died, in fact, in this, and hundreds more were, in fact, taken to hospital. But I'm just going to speak to Umama Ulilian just to take us through. She is speaking on behalf of Prasa, just to take us through what they understand so far happened here. Thank you so much for joining us. But let's just get right into it. What actually happened here?
What happened here, unfortunately, is that we have 2 trains that collided here at Mountain View Station outside Pretoria North. These 2 trains were both coming from Mabopane and going towards the same direction of Pretoria Station. Most unfortunately, as a result of the collision, we've got 2 people that were confirmed to have suffered fatal injuries here on the scene, and about the 3rd person that actually had been confirmed to had lost her life at the hospital, so which is very unfortunate. And we do have 638 people that have been confirmed to have suffered injuries, and out of that, those that we are worried and concerned about each and every injury, but it's important for me to highlight that we still have 11 that are critical. They are all taken to various hospitals around Pretoria, so we are hoping that the medical services will and the doctors at various hospitals will definitely give them attention and help us.
All right, let's speak about this before we go any further in terms of uncovering all of these processes. Let's just try and speak about the fact that the MEC, Ishmael Vadi of Transport, was telling me that he is worried because there is each and every 6 months it seems to be an incident such as this, particularly from this railway service provider. But in terms of what actually happens at the traffic lights in the railway, because the collision here happens in one railway, but you were explaining to me, in fact, that there is a process that you have, a contingency plan to make sure that such incidents do not happen. But just take me through that.
Unfortunately for us, one accident or incident is too many, and we treat each and every incident seriously. And in this particular corridor, I can confirm that between Mabopane and Hercules Station, we are actually manually authorizing trains. What that simply means is that there are train traffic robots that the drivers has to make sure that they actually call our train traffic control system to get authorization for them to be able to move safely. So that is what happened in this particular area. So I cannot confirm, and I don't want to preempt the outcome of any investigation that will be coming out to help us understand in terms of the authority to say which trains was authorized to be here, which one was not. For now, we don't have any of that information. We are hoping that because we have now since managed to clear and prioritize to make sure that the people that were injured here on scene are actually taken away from scene, they are getting medical attention. That was what was priority for us. As soon as the site is actually given formally back to us as Metro Rail, we will then be able to start looking at those investigations.
So, but what you're basically saying is that there are traffic lights here. You have a manual operation here, and there are traffic lights where each and every train, they stop there and they get permission from the railway traffic controllers. And you are not sure who exactly was not supposed to be here at that point in time. But you did mention, of course, another thing, which is theft that might have played a part in this. I know you don't want to preempt, but just take me through how that has, would affect such an incident to happen, because you did speak about the theft being one of the possibilities leading to such an incident.
It's important for me to emphasize the fact that we are operating a very open system as Metro Rail and Prasa. And one of the challenges that from time to time leads us to actually doing manual authorizations. It's as a result of theft that is there. It can be theft of infrastructural components or even our electrical components in the form of cables that actually come into play. And it is very important that we actually partner with communities and work with them so that they understand that any form of cable theft or theft of any incident from the railway infrastructure unfortunately has got consequences. And today, as a country, we are saddened. As an operator, we are very sad to actually have lost 3 lives of our commuters, and we really want to extend a word of condolences to the families that have lost their loved ones, and most importantly to all the people that are injured, including some of our train crew members that are out there. We will be visiting as management some families to give them support and also to make sure that those that are in hospital, after the doctors have actually seen them, we are able to can also go them and give them the support they need.
Quite a troubling, in fact, a revelation that this is a manual operated area, and that is because of the open area that you are operating in. But we'll get to that off air as we have time constraints. But one of the things that is coming out, in fact, in my head right now is that PRASA has always been in hot water in terms of their license being taken away from them. And I remember a court case where you were able to lift that and you were able to get your permits because of the constraints that it has on the passengers themselves, the commuters that you commute each and every day. But looking at the fact that the railway agency has been raising concerns, and at the time when that ban was lifted, at the time when you were given your permit to operate, you did say that this is not a lifting of the fact that you still need to comply in terms of your safety regulations. But in this case, are you concerned about the fact that your license will be taken away from you because you have been hot water for quite some time now?
We are very concerned as an operator. As I've already said, that one incident is too many. As a result, we have actually made a decision today to close down this whole particular line. We have closed down the line between Pretoria and Mabopane. The whole corridor is closed, including the one from Garankuwa to Mabopane, to ensure that we are able to clear and assess and make sure that we have a preventative way of managing and avoiding such incidents from happening.
Very quickly, are you taking responsibility as PRASA that in fact the incident that happened here is partly your on your hands, because there are people that have died now? In other instances, last year in fact there were no incidents of fatalities, but this time around there are fatalities. There are people who have lost their loved ones. And if you speak about theft, then I would ask about maintenance. But are we taking responsibility as PRASA?
As Metro Rail, we are the operator for PRASA, and we are taking full responsibility of any incident that happens within our environment, especially here in Gauteng, because we are the operators. So one incident, it doesn't matter where and how and what the causes are, we are operating and we are taking full responsibility.
Well, thank you so much, Mama Lillian. But in terms of them taking responsibility, it remains to be seen to us what exactly will be happening, what action will be taken, because if there is the loss of life, you think about prosecution in terms of the law, because these people have to comply in terms of the safety regulations. But the safety regulator of the railways will be here, and we will hear from them what their action is, what they are intending to do. And of course, the Minister of Transport, Lady Zimande, will also be here at around 5 o'clock, and he will give us more light in terms of the concerns and what they are intending to do as the Department of Transport.
All right, thank you so much for that update. That is eNCA's Lindokuhle Xulu out in Pretoria at the scene of that train crash. You will have seen in the background there, the area is teeming with officials from the rail safety regulator who are clearly investigating the crash at this particular point.